Hello and welcome to India Today, India Tomorrow's festive special. This Diwali weekend, we've got a special for you with two special people. Joining us now is the one and only Hema Malini and her daughter Esha Deol. Thank you both very much for joining me.
It's nice to be here.
You're looking lovely, both of you, color coordinated.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, always.
Always color coordinated?
Yes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Especially for Diwali, this is.
This is especially for Diwali. How do you normally celebrate Diwali? Over the years, have you ever been shooting films during Diwali, or Diwali was a time for the family?
Sometimes I have done shooting also. So Diwali guys seen many times we have done. And but of course, once children are born, the celebrating Diwali was different. Now with the grandchildren, it is still very interesting.
And people in Mathura may also be asking you, "Hamare saath Diwali manaiye."
Yes. The most of the festival they invite me. Now recently Raksha Bandhan was there, so I was there and I tied Rakhi to so many people.
Is she the person who decides how his festivals are going to be celebrated? Is she the one who is runs the house, or the children have taken over, or you've taken over?
I mean, well, now she always, says what she wants, and I'm the one who most of the time executes it for her. So that support is always there. And every festival we love celebrating to the fullest as a family.
Are you all similar people or very different? You all are dressed similarly, but are you all very different people? Very different personalities, yours and hers?
Are we?
No, not actually. To some extent, little different she is for sometimes. But otherwise, when the question comes for a festival and all, so we all dress up the same way, celebrate the same way. The puja part jo karna hai, sab kuch karte
Yeah, I
hain.
think we are workaholics and quite strong-headed women.
You are a family of lots of women, right?
Yes.
You and your sister.
Yes.
Your sister has twins.
Yes.
Sita or Geeta.
Sita.
Twin daughters. You can say Sita or Geeta in a way. You have two daughters. So it's a very sort of woman-oriented family.
Yes.
Yes, and I have one grandson.
You have
He is
one
the smart-
grandson.
Yes, he's the firstborn.
So what does poor old Dharamji do amidst surrounded by all these lovely women?
He is very happy.
Yeah, the men in our family are perpetually Kishan Kanhaiya.
They are Kishan
Always
Kanhaiya.
have,
Always have
yeah,
women around
yeah.
them. And I know Dharamji always liked to have women around him. He always felt good about that. But if I were to turn the clock back, you started off in your teens
Yes.
as in cinema in the late 1960s.
Yes.
And I used to read Stardust in the early 70s, and always there would be your photograph with your mother.
Mummy, yes.
Amma Jaya Chakravarti was always in every photograph with Hema Malini.
Yes.
She accompanied you to every shoot.
Everywhere, because I actually wanted her all the time.
You wanted?
Yeah, I wanted her. Initially, because I don't know much how to deal with people, so she was supporting me and she was coming. Then later on, when I started doing too many films and so many shifts, then she started sending her sister, that is my aunt, she used to come. But I will always have somebody with me. My own people.
Because you see, the Film Gossip magazine would say that they wanted to protect Hema Malini from this big bad world of Hindi cinema. Is that true or not? That they were very protective of
To some extent, yes. That was in her mind.
What was the most difficult thing for you, coming from a relatively conservative family from
Yes.
Chennai to Mumbai at a very young age, acting with the great Raj Kapoor in your first film, Sapno Ka Saudagar? How difficult, what was the most difficult thing, learning Hindi or just adjusting to Mumbai?
No, adjusting to Mumbai is all a secondary, because we are only concentrating on the work. Because I have given this job, so you have to act. Now I don't know acting. That time there was no institute or anything to teach, So only the director used to, whatever he says, I had to do it. So my main concentration was only that I better do the best. So my mother is sitting on the side and keeps telling me, come on, do the best, don't leave it. So she was my inspiration. Because of her, whatever I am here today. So it was, she designed everything. She wanted me to come to, because we were living in Delhi those days. So when I was around 12-year-old, she asked my father to shift to Chennai to make me learn more classical Bharatanatyam, dance, सीखने के लिए. So we shifted there. Then so many film producers were hovering around there in South. So they wanted me to act in films. They took me also in one film and they rejected me also. That became heartbroken I was. I said, what happened that they only came, they took me and then they rejected me also. Maybe I was not good enough that time. But then I took it as a challenge that I have to do it now. Because in the beginning, initially, it was not my plan.
The great Hema Malini was actually rejected,
yes,
by a filmmaker in Tamil Nadu when he was starting off.
Yes.
You know, she's talking about how there were no film institutes.
Yeah.
And she really came, her mother almost choreographed her career.
Yes.
You, on the other hand, had the benefit perhaps of being always seen as Hema Malini's daughter.
Yes.
Was that a burden or a boon? Ki whenever you went to a film set, they would say, "Ye Hema Malini ki beti hai."
I mean, you know, it's something that is obvious and it's there, and I am born, and I feel I'm blessed to be born into this family and have these two wonderful people as my parents. Having said that, initially, I mean, you know, it didn't strike me that I am so-and-so's daughter. It's only when I grew up and reached a certain age, I knew that, yeah, my parents are famous. And I was very naive, very innocent, and I joined the industry, started acting. At the age of 18, I started as well. And then, little later, when I got into it, it was then that the comparisons, you know, came on to me. And I think something like that, initially you feel is, you're not used to it, you don't know why it's happening, and it's your own mother. But I think people like me who belong to this industry have to learn to deal with it and move on.
Did she push you into cinema, saying you have to become an actor, you have
think
to learn Bharatnatyam?
Dance she pushed me to do.
Dance she
always,
pushed
yeah,
you to.
from a very young age, dance, and I was focusing a lot on my football and athletics and sports. So dance we started learning then, and I got inclined towards Odissi, not Bharatnatyam. Films is something I wanted to do from a very young age. My bedroom was right in front of my mother's makeup room, and I grew up every day in the morning seeing her doing makeup, getting ready for shoots while I had to go to school.
But I used to come and drop you in the school.
You used to drop me
Yes.
to school.
She would drop you to
Yeah,
school
yeah,
at least. Every day you
with
would
the
drop her
makeup,
to school.
Yeah.
I was sit in the car, I used to drop.
But football was your first love, actually, right?
Yes,
Even
yes.
before films, you sort of wanted to
Yes,
become
yes.
a
I
footballer.
played, absolutely. I played for 7 years, and I was selected for the national team as well.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So you played football at a national level.
I didn't go and play for some other reasons, but
You were selected.
I was selected.
Not bad. The footballer in the family. But dance was also something
Yeah, because
that
I
united.
was performing everywhere, so she used to come with me. She loves to see me doing the makeup and the dance. But many people started asking, कि आपकी बेटी भी dance करती है ना? करती है ना? Sure, they are. Then I used to say, नहीं करती है. Then I said, everybody is asking, better learn now. So I said, Bharatanatyam सीखो. So she said, she was scared that I will be very strict mother because I want the way whatever is planned. But she said, no, I want to learn Odissi. I said, learn any classical dance, I don't mind. Then she started learning, but there was a problem because Dharamji was not at all for dance. दोनों बेटियां को कभी डांस नहीं सिखाना है, नहीं सिखाना है. They should not, घुंघरू अंघरू बिल्कुल सामने नहीं आना चाहिए. This is the condition he put. But my mother, we are all, you know, we are in South Indian family, the dance, music is very important. It is part of our life. So all the children have to learn some kind of art. So we were very keen on her learning dance. So Dharamji says no. So that became her support. So I will go for sports.
No, I am unable to understand this, that the great Dharamji wants his wife is okay with dancing.
No, even
जब तक है जाने जहाँ मैं नाचूंगी वो सब ठीक है.
That is all film.
But children cannot dance.
No, listen, film में जो करते हैं, that is a different matter. But when I dance on the stage, my classical dance, for 2 hours I perform.
Yes.
So that I invited him once, you please come and watch my show in Chennai mein. So he just watched, and in the interval he came and he says, "Tum meri nahi hai tum. You don't belong to me."
Don't belong to me.
I don't see anything.
This is a very North Indian male chauvinistic way of operating. But I'm told that he also wasn't very keen that you all get into acting.
Yeah, it's hand in hand. I mean, we grew up listening to this one dialogue of Papa, which was no dance, no acting. And me and Anna literally had to repeat after him and say, yes, Papa, no dance, no acting. And I have gone and done just that. But today, he's extremely supportive. I share a lot of my work with him, and it's a different story today. And I think, I think he was just very possessive and protective as a father.
Because Sunny and Bobby, no problem.
Yes.
Men, they can happily,
they can do
whatever, but the daughters had to follow a particular routine, which you eventually broke, of course.
Yeah, broke, and it's just, again, my grandmother also has been a very strong woman herself, career-oriented and all, and I'm surrounded by women like that at home. And I wanted to work from a very young age. I wanted to earn my own money. I wanted to buy my own first car. I didn't want to burden her. And I knew that this line is something that I enjoy, being creative in front of the camera. I love acting. I love going through different characters and living them through the journey of a film. And I want to be independent financially on my own. So I just went ahead.
But it is difficult being Hema Malini's daughter. I mean, I must confess. Yes. The first films of yours I saw was a very interesting film, Gora Aur Kala. Must be 1970 or 71 with Rajendra Kumar.
Yes.
And then I saw a film of yours, Sita Aur Geeta, which was a super hit. But you were the dream girl. So how are the next generation? You can only have one dream girl, right? You can't have so many dream girls. Was it more? Do you think it was more difficult, unfair on your daughters to expect them to follow your footsteps?
No, see, as a mother, she's my daughter, so I will do everything for her. But it's the people who try to, compare and say, कि अरे आपकी बेटी आपके जैसा वो picture वो भी कराई and make her do film just like mine, whatever film I did. So actually the directors used to make her do something different than me, which was the right decision. She has to have her own identity. So which she created, and she is a very wonderful actress, which I have realized. And
who's the better actor, you think, out of the two? She.
No.
Your dad. Dad is the best, is it? The fact is, because you started off and you won a Filmfare Award for Best Debut. Koi Mere Dil Se Pooche. So your career, in a way, was stop-start, right? You started off very well, and then I guess it was much more difficult, perhaps because of the comparisons, perhaps because of the nature of the industry.
Yes.
Which was very unfair, which was not supposed to be. They should not.
But today when I look back, I have no regrets. I thank whatever happened, because it's made me a very tough nut to crack.
Really?
Let me put it that way.
What is a tough nut to crack? You're not an easy... You're very clear about what you want.
I'm very clear about what I want today, and I know where to trade and where not to. It's definitely wisened me up a lot. Of course, motherhood has taken another turn for me, and I was very raw and naive when I started out. I thought everyone's wonderful, everyone's my best friend, but till you don't get it the hard way, you're not going to realize.
No, because I keep asking these two actors that this whole argument now is made of nepotism.
Yes.
That in Hindi film industry, if you're someone's daughter or son, you have a huge advantage over those who come out from the outside.
Nothing like that.
Nothing
We
like
never
that.
Faced like that at all.
You don't believe that,
not at
right?
all. Yeah.
No, I mean, when I started out, it was not such a hot topic.
Yes.
But now it's an extremely, topic of relevance, and it's given a lot of importance. So I really feel bad for some of the girls and guys who are there today who have to face that, For me, it was different. They would compare me to my mother. So I also had it tough. But these people who are just starting out, and I think nepotism, so to say, it exists in every field. I mean, a doctor's child is somewhere seeing that and growing up. And I feel your first hero, the first people you worship and look up to are your parents from home. They are always looking up to you. I see my daughters, they look up to me for everything I do. And tomorrow if they want to join a particular career, whether it's my husband's or mine, it's very natural, I feel.
It's very interesting that, motherhood also at one time was seen as a barrier to be, staying on in cinema or doing anything in public. But you carried on your life after marriage, after children. Nothing changed for Hema Malini. Did your husband give you a lot of support in that sense, or was he initially resistant? Was he, just as he was resistant to the daughters getting to cinema, did he ever say, "Ab tumne mujhse shaadi kar liya, ab ghar pe baitho"?
No, I'm so glad. No, he never told me that at all, because he knows that he is getting married to me. I'm also a very strong-headed person, so I have to dance. I had film, dance, all these two things I continue to do. So he never stopped me. So that is one thing I'm very glad about it. And for her coming into dance field, he was objecting. Then when he saw her performance, which I showed her in the video and all, then he really liked it. He said, "It is so beautiful, it is looking very divine art, which you have taught your daughter." You know, that the first time we performed.
So he's finally realized that Bharatnatyam is a divine art.
Yeah, it is.
There's a question I've always wanted to ask you. The love story of Hema Malini and Dharmendra. Who fell in love with whom? Because you were obviously someone whom a number of actors were being linked with, or you were being linked with, and then along comes Dharamji. Did he sweep you off your feet, or did you sweep him?
The very first time when I saw him, because I have never seen such a handsome man. I mean, I have been working with many of them. They are all very good looking. But he was something exceptional, something very different, and very soft-hearted person, the way he spoke. That really impressed me, that's all. That doesn't mean that I wanted to marry him. It was only after that I started admiring him so much. So whenever we had shooting together, so I used to feel very nice working with him. But he used to...
He was a very attractive man.
And he also got very attracted, definitely, to me.
But the reason I'm asking you this, because at the end of the day, this has been a question often asked. Conservative Tamil woman comes to the Hindi film industry. There is Dharamji, you all get married. He was already married. Did that make life difficult? Was it a difficult thing for you to finally marry, or did it, all these years later, how do you see it?
A time comes, then I said, you have to marry me, so we cannot go on like this. You better marry me now. Then I know that there will be little problem, but I don't expect anything else from him, just his love, that's all.
And he's always given you that.
He is always there for me, so what else I need? I don't want his property, his money or anything else. It's just pure love, that's it.
You know, your parents' love story is quite a love story.
Yes.
Did it at some stage also, is that something you came to terms with, that your father had? You know, there was Sunny, Bobby, there was the Deol family before marriage, and then your family. Have you all been able to come to terms? Is it one big happy family?
You know, we are very private as a family, very, very private. I love my brothers. They're always there for me. And my father has always been there. He's always, you know, what I admire about my dad is, it's because he's such a large-hearted person. He has been able to balance out both the sides beautifully.
Very well, yes.
So you give him credit for that?
I give him credit. And I think they don't make men like that today.
Right. So when you got married to a sort of childhood sweetheart in a way, I believe you all met at an art competition in school.
Yeah, the Cascade.
Right. They met at a film set, and you met at an art competition. Sindhi family, reconciled, parents were happy immediately, or the parents were, did they want lots of details about who you're getting married to?
You know, they were going on for a while. Actually, my dad wanted me to get married at 18, and I started acting at 18. So this has been going on for a couple of years. It was going on that you should settle down. And they kept showing me these guys, and they made some fake account on some elite matrimonial site of me. And I'm on in a holiday in LA, and they're like, "Come for dinner, we're making you meet this boy." I started throwing up. I said, "I don't want to go. I don't want to get married now. I want to be in love and marry the man I love." And I was very actively acting in films at that time. And of course, Bharat came in at the right time, and then I felt, chalo, I should settle down. Now I want to have babies.
You know, what is this? You see, you had a lifestyle where you all get married after romancing each other, but daughter has to have an arranged marriage?
I kept telling her that it's better you get married. We are showing you all the boys, but she was not interested. Then she says, "Ek din ek darwaza khulega and he will be there. A boy will be standing in front.
He'll ring the doorbell and he'll come and ring my doorbell." I used to always say that.
And she brought one boy, and then whom I have seen in few occasions I have seen. I just liked him, that's all. But I said, my God, this boy has come. Somewhere I liked him, but I don't know who he is. Then she introduces a Tattani.
First of all, to get a guy home is a big thing. There are many hurdles they have to cross. So finally I had the guts to get a guy to come home and, introduce my mother to him. So that's a very big thing for me. Otherwise they're not allowed home.
And you were, they were not, I'm getting a sense of a very conservative family at one level versus a next generation which wanted to live life, play football, do all the, dance, act, do all the great things of life. But getting married, was that a tough choice? Because, between acting and getting married and so-called settling down, a term which has got me into trouble in the past,
No, I was too deeply in love with him and I wanted to start a family and I didn't want to miss the boat at the same time. I was 30 when I got married.
Is it you think easier, what is the big difference between your generation, the actors of your generation and Esha's generation? Were you all more focused on career above all else, and do you think this generation does many things at the same time?
They are doing many things at the same time. But even I was doing my dance, everything I was also doing.
But you were doing 6, 8, 10 films at a time.
Films at a time, yes.
She was way ahead of our generation also, my mom, I feel.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Very modern in her thoughts and very forward thinking. Directing a film, wanting to join politics, kids, everything. My mom has always been very forward.
Yeah, I know. Your tryst with politics has always, in a way, been an interesting aspect of Hema Malini. That Hema Malini somehow, again, we never thought as a politician, but you became a neta, successful. Won 2 Lok Sabha elections, 1 Rajya Sabha election. Yes. What is easier, acting or doing politics? Honest answer.
I never wanted to come into politics. It just happened. So I have always grabbed the opportunities when it comes. So my mother also used to say, "Jo milta hai to chodna nahi chahiye. Try it. You must try and get it." So even when I got Rajya Sabha, then I said, "What do I do there? My God, all the politicians will be there." But she said, "Try and you will like it." So I just I've been in films for several years, and not with the public. It is for the public I have been working. Even my dances, I'm there performing here on the stage, and the audience are there. But becoming a politician, a member of parliament from Mathura, I'm right inside the public, with them all the time.
So what is easier, acting to a script or giving a dialogue in front of people in a big audience?
Both are nice. It's an experience, and I have really relished all of them.
Would you ever do what she did and become a politician and become an MP from Mathura and address a large gathering out there?
I'm happy.
She's laughing. You don't think she can do it?
Career right now.
Huh?
I took her for my election.
Yeah.
She and Ahana, both of them came.
Sometimes I know that some of you all are even asked to repeat the dialogues of your film.
Yes, yes.
Basanti. There are people who know you even today as Basanti from Sholay, or indeed many of the other roles. As I come back to it, are you a very private person therefore? You're supposed to be actually a very private person.
I am a private person.
But politics is a very public space, right? You've got to be all the time.
But I deal very perfectly. I don't let anybody come too much close. They are all at a particular level, yes.
You keep them at a distance. Would you, as I said, ever even consider joining politics?
Well, I've been asked, and if I do something, it has to be from my heart. At the moment, the heart is coming back to films and working again, and of course, my 2 daughters.
Is it more difficult doing films now that you're married, or you find it easy? How do you find it? Do you find it easier to manage life both as a star and as a mother?
Yes, I mean, I'm very clear about my priorities, and I love my profession at the same time. I missed it when I was not doing it for a short while. And I'm with my daughters, I keep them away from the limelight and the media glare.
If your 18-year-old daughter comes to you and says, "Mummy, I want to become a film star," will you say yes or no?
I will never stop them, because I think you have the right to choose your profession, and whatever your child wants to do is with something good, you've got to encourage them and be there for them. But I'll probably be like my grandmom on set, sitting there all the time.
You'll go to the sets and sit?
Yeah, I'll be one of those.
You'll be like your grandmother?
Yeah, I'll be my grandmother.
She's very possessive, yes.
Very possessive.
Where I was not that possessive for her. When I allowed them to move ahead and then understand themselves. They should learn everything by themselves.
And you did so many great films after marriage,
Yes.
right down to Baghban, which was a big hit with
Yes.
Amitabh Bachchan
Yes.
many years later. You know, for you, balancing motherhood with being this big star, was it easy, difficult? You said you used to drop her to school
Yeah.
every day. So you wanted to fulfill your motherly duties, but at the same time continue to enjoy
I
stardom.
did both together. I think perfectly I was doing it. It was not difficult for me because I leave them, because I had support system in my house. My mother was there, my aunt was there. So all of them are
Yeah,
there.
exactly. I
So-
think family support, if it's there,
Very
you can
important.
be a working mom.
And Dharamji keeps coming and looking after sometimes.
Dharamji does?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
He
does.
does how, his home duties?
He's been great.
Huh?
Yeah.
खाना पकाते हैं कि
नहीं, नहीं,
खाना
खाना
नहीं पकाते हैं
खाना तो मैं भी नहीं पकाती हूँ.
हाँ खाना आप भी नहीं पकाती है and what languages are spoken at home? Tamil,
Yes.
Hindi, bit of Punjabi or not? Punjabi na? No Punjabi.
Our household I grew up in was filled with South Indian women. So we only knew Tamil, which was
They both the girls
easily
speak
we
very
picked
good
up Tamil.
Achha, you all speak very good Tamil because you see
Uh-huh.
their marriage was the classic union of North and
Combination.
South India
Yeah,
in those
yeah.
days. But I see the South Indian influence is greater than the North
Greater,
Indian.
yes, it
Greater
is.
than the North. And a little bit of Marathi, I believe.
Marathi, yes, we had it in school as a third language, and my staff, they are all Maharashtrians. I have a very strong influence of my staff, and
तुझी
I'm
मराठी
always...
चांगली है
हो माझी मराठी चांगली आहे.
हाँ? बोलू शकते
मी बोलू शकते.
No,
Not much.
not much. And the language between you and Dharamji, language of love.
Language of
Good.
love.
Language of
Even
love.
today, touch wood, even
language of
today,
love.
seeing them, it's like pure true love.
You did not teach him Tamil?
Little bit he has learned.
You know, he
Few
learned a little
things
bit. He
know.
knows
He
a few
understands.
Tamil words.
Some थोड़ा मालूम है.
All the men in our family end up knowing more Tamil than their own language. Even Bharat with Sindhi is not as good as he understands Tamil.
Tamil, na?
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice. They can't
Achha, you're
explain
slowly
it.
now teaching him a bit of Tamil as
Tamil.
well.
He has learned, I think.
And idli dosa vegetarian or good butter chicken?
No, I am a pure vegetarian.
Pure vegetarian.
We're still pure vegetarian. We maintain. But
So Dharamji was not able to convert you into
No,
the world
now-
of
not
non-veg.
he will never force me because they are also vegetarian at home.
Right.
So the son-in-laws are both
Pure non-veg.
Sindhi and Punjabi boys. So with them, Papa gets away with his, you know.
Then you're left alone then as the
Yeah.
pure veg in the
Yeah.
family. But you know, as I look back at it, any regrets over all these years that you've had? I know you had a near tragic experience with an accident. I remember that made the headlines at the time. I believe Sunny was among the first who came
Yes.
to look at you in the hospital. Any regrets over the
No,
years?
no regret at all. I think I'm really blessed. I have the best of everything as a woman. What you need, nothing else I can ask for.
You know, if we look first at cinema then and now, in your time there was no OTT. So it was always the big budget film in cinemas. Do you think was that the glorious era of cinema where
That
you
is
know,
the-
all of you became these huge
Yes.
stars?
Golden period of the film industry.
The
That's the
70s.
time 70s, 60s, 70s and 80s I will say.
Because you know there used to be this huge battle. Who's the number one?
Yes.
Is Hema Malini number one? Is it Zeenat Aman? At every Rekha, who's got the biggest hit? Is that something that doesn't exist today as much as
No,
it did in your
today
time?
it is, all the artists are very easily available to see anywhere, especially at the airport you can see them.
In your time?
No.
You all were not available.
Not available, and if you are traveling means there used to be a huge crowd behind us, and the premieres are done in such a big manner of Mashole, and so many film premieres I have attended, Delhi, Calcutta and all other places. So huge crowd used to be there because people can't see you personally, no? That is, if something is closed, they can't see.
Because now
Now
you're on
it is
social
open.
media,
Yeah, now-
you're on Instagram, you're everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
So the elusiveness of meeting Hema Malini
Yeah.
or meeting a Zeenat Aman or Rekha no longer exists in your generation.
Not at all.
But you have OTT, right?
Yes.
And has that given you all a new lease of life? You've done a film with, a series with Ajay Devgan,
Yes, yes.
Rudra, it's done well. So has OTT given you all a new lease of life?
Definitely. I think, you know, the reason to come back is because the content that is being made is suitable to me at this time in my life. I'm able to enjoy the characters that I'm being offered. That's why I went ahead and obviously did Rudra, you know. And it's somewhere, there's so much more, so many more stories that are being told in various platforms, which are being shot equally amazingly well, you know. In
And
fact,
many of them are female-centric.
Absolutely.
You produced a film on female infanticide.
Absolutely,
So you
yes.
can do these things which perhaps you couldn't do, you know, all those years
no,
ago.
no. I mean, for me to even go ahead and say I'm going to produce is not easy, you know. But it was possible thanks to, you know, the OTT platforms, and a film like that can be appreciated.
What is it about your mother that inspires you? What is the best quality about Hema Malini that only her daughter can tell us?
Yes.
I think it's her strength to follow through. She's had many hurdles to cross, but she always does it with dignity and grace. That is something that I've learned from her.
Is there something she's told you over these years, do whatever you want but do it with dignity? Is
Yeah,
that the
that is
message that she's always given you?
Always, her and my father both, and I think we have, you know, lived up to it. It's just that sometimes in your teenage age you get a bit carried away, but so far I think me and Anna have been good representatives of our family name, and we are going to maintain that and continue that for the next generations. I think she's
You know, she
been
said in the
incredible.
interview that Dharamji is the most handsome man
Yeah.
that she had ever seen.
Yes.
Most people think that she's the most beautiful woman who
Yes.
was there on the screen.
Yes.
But did he ever tell you that or not?
He says it every time.
Every day, every time he meets her.
I tell him sometimes, ये नया लिया है, कैसा लग रहा है, visit लगे. इसके नीचे तो देखा ही नहीं मैंने.
अरे वाह, तो प्यार अभी बरकरार
अभी
है.
हाँ.
हाँ? कभी सोचा है एक लास्ट पिक्चर कर लेते हैं आप दोनों?
That
You know,
वो
you are
नहीं
doing all
करेंगे.
those hit films. One more last एक hit film हो जाए.
That I don't think he will be, no?
I mean, I don't know.
No, why can't you have a full Deol
We will
Parivar
try,
film?
yes.
You could do a full Deol Parivar
Yeah,
film,
but we're
right?
very private, no. We won't do a film.
You all won't do a film together? You can't have Sunny, Bobby, Esha, Hema Malini, Dharamji, Abhay, all of you all can
Yeah,
come
that will be
together.
a treat, visual treat for sure.
But not on the agenda for now.
I don't think so.
So what next for you?
For me,
There's much buzz that you've decided up, do baar jeet gaye, you now, there was some talk in Delhi, this is your last election, that now you want to relax in Mumbai?
it is not the last. I don't think so, because I have got to do so many things
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
In Mathura, I have established so many things, and then who will complete all that?
Because you know, a lot of criticism against film star politicians is that you all get your star value, but you don't do enough for the area.
But
Even
you-
Dharamji admitted to me once that it was, you know, at the end of the day, he couldn't spend enough time in
because
Bikaner.
it was Bikaner, it was too
He was
far.
in Bikaner.
Mathura is, I mean, I go to Delhi and from there 2.5 hours I go by road.
Every
But I
month you are
love
there?
it is a Krishna ki Nagari. I am a devotee of Lord Krishna, so I am doing my best to do there all the work.
You are there every
She's there every week.
yes.
every week.
Yeah, we have her only on Saturday, Sundays.
So maybe you need to change that somehow, no? You've never told her, Mom, it's time to retire now.
See, she's done a lot of work and she's emotionally very connected to Mathura also because she's herself a huge Krishna Bhakt and she's genuinely wanting to improve things there. So I don't think she lets the other noise affect her. I think you should not. Continue doing your good work.
But I have really done a lot of work. We can find out from many people. People are very happy. So if I'm required, if the other people tell me that I should contest, I'm ready for that.
I must ask you this. I know you said, again, I'm repeating it, your husband was the most handsome man you'd met. Your favorite co-star? Who's your favorite co-star? The one you enjoyed most working with?
Shashi Kapoor, Jitu, and of course Shatrughan Sinha.
Shatrughan Sinha?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was so wonderful, to work with. I mean,
your generation, favorite person you've worked with? Director or actor?
I've had a couple who are still good friends of mine. I think there are generations that have continued the friendship because Tushar and I are great friends, then Zaid and Fardeen. We all are still very much in touch and we've had a great friendship and wonderful time working also.
Hemaji, you ever thought of being on Instagram and doing these...
Is, but
you are on Instagram, but
invisible on Instagram.
Not at all.
doing Instagram posts, Hema Malini having her morning breakfast,
I
Hema
can't do
Malini
that.
with Dharmendra in Lonavala, you would never put out a picture of you and
not at
Dharam
all.
ji,
I
right?
still continue to be the same, what we used to be.
You see, that's the difference. They will never put out their pictures on Instagram. Your generation is more than happy to put out
But
all your
my
pictures.
dad loves
Yeah,
it.
he loves
He
it.
loves it.
Yes.
He loves
Connecting to his fans, through this medium. He'll sit and actually reply to each and every one of them.
Really. But, their generation in general was more elusive. They were not...
They were stars. You could just it was actually stars, very rarely seen.
So what are you guys now?
We are bling.
You're bling.
We are bling.
Yeah, so is that, are you conscious of the fact that you have to be on multimedia, you've got to be out there connecting with people? Is that something almost like a full-time?
It is. I'm again, like I said, a very private person, and for me to get onto social media, it took a while. And then when I was on it, I was not as good as what you should be. So I have a team of people who are actually behind me and they tell me, we need to post today, we need to put this, we need to put that, and I enjoy it, but it's getting me out of my comfort zone. And like I said, I don't share much of my personal life on social media, but when it comes to my work and all, I'm out there.
Because
I can't do it.
You can't do it. But look at your, your famous co-star Amitabh Bachchan.
He's
still,
yes.
He's out on Twitter, he's on these spaces.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever thought ki Bachchan ji ki
Twitter.
tarah, do a TV, let's do a TV quiz show. Agar wo aapko kahe, please be my co-star in Kaun Banega Crorepati.
I did Kaun Banega.
Yeah, I know you did a show with it, but I'm
yes.
saying a full series. Hema Malini and Amitabh Bachchan.
Maybe they're quite nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Good idea.
Huh?
Good idea.
Good idea. No?
I'll enjoy watching it for sure.
But the stars of your generation were quite remarkable in that, even Jitendra for years on end was still doing cinema. वो एक प्यार
Cinema
था.
is different. That is different. Those films were really very beautiful. Even when today look back, it was something remarkable.
But what is your first love? Is it cinema or dance? Because you've got a dance academy and one gets a sense that when you're dancing, Hema Malini is in another world.
Yes.
Is that your first love, Pehla Pyar?
My Pehla Pyar is dance because that is where I started. From dance, then I came into films. So for the last, I think 40 years, I'm riding both the horse, dance and film.
But when you're on stage dancing or when you're on a set, are you do you feel is your comfort zone that stage?
No, both are different and I enjoyed both of them. And on the stage, I have to be particular character. If I'm doing Meera or Durga, I'm performing. For 2.5 hours, I'm on the stage and completely, totally involved in that, in the ballet.
Amazing.
Which people love it, They come to see Hema Malini first and then they forget what they are saying. They see Radha or Durga. They really feel that. And I'm happy that I'm able to project that image to them.
Do these two images coexist? For my generation, Dream Girl. For the next generation, Radha dancing on stage. For you, are you also comfortable with both being identified as dream girl by one generation and as Radha by another?
Don't you think it is something interesting? Both I am able to adjust. I'm
true.
able to be recognized as Meera and Durga and also a dream girl.
Dancing, important part of your family heritage in a way,
Yes,
no?
yes.
So we used to perform with Esha and Ahana. We three do parampara.
Oh, three of you dance
Three
together?
of you we have danced. So many shows we have done, and it was very, very popular show. And the most interesting thing is first time when we performed, I was very worried how she is going to perform, how Ahana is going to dance. But slowly later on, now Ahana started telling me, "Mummy, you made a mistake." On the stage when I perform, because I'm so conscious about them. How are they performing all right or not?
Did she ever intimidate you, especially on stage? I'm with Hema Malini, my mother dancing on stage. Will I be able to live up to her expectations?
No.
I mean, I think it's more of a comforting factor when you're on stage with your sister and mother.
They were very comfortable.
It's all in the family. We are on stage now. From home, we are on stage. No, but it's lovely. It's a very emotional feeling performing together with my mother and sister on stage.
What is Hema Malini, the grandmother, like?
Oh, she's lovely. She's a lovely grandmother to all her grandchildren, and my elder one is like, if I'm shooting or something and I make sure Mama is there, then on the days I'm shooting, either she or my mother-in-law.
My duty to look after.
Then it's her duty. So then I know Radhya is sitting with Mama on Mama's dressing table and all the makeup is coming out. And then Ahana's son is there, Daryan. So she really pampers.
I have a great time with all the children.
You show them some old films of yours or not?
I have shown
you put it on TV and say, "Ye dekho."
The other day I went to a shop with Ahana and Daryan was there. So in the sports shop we went. So all those staff were coming and taking pictures with me. Hey, mera nani ko chodo. Hato aap log. Then he's holding my hand and he's walking somewhere else, He's trying to protect me. He's only a 6-year-old child.
But when you were the biggest star, there were no selfies, right? All you could do was take an autograph.
Yes.
Right? Now wherever you go, everyone wants a selfie.
Yes. Pura, I say, without permission they take. That's the problem.
You are okay with taking selfies or not?
I take, but not too much, When you're in a bad mood, there's selfie,
But, as you said, making this transition from being a private person to being out in the public glare is perhaps the biggest challenge in a way for your generation. I see actors, their pictures being taken now when they're going shopping or whether, in any place, even without permission. I'm sure Hema Malini's generation, it was very clear. Permission lena hai agar photograph lena hai. Is that something that you don't like about being a celebrity? That,
I think they like. Today's generation, they like it.
Some of them
you
enjoy
like it.
it.
You enjoy it?
I am okay if I have to be there for work. But if generally I'm on the road strolling and I get clicked, I don't understand that, because my intention to step out was for something else, not to get clicked. But the paps, they are very, very wonderful. They have a lot of respect for our family and they always will take permission. And they know my kids, I don't like them getting clicked, so they will say, "Nahi, bachon ka nahi le rahe." So I love that about them.
So there is a paparazzi, but they have limits.
They are, and they've been very nice.
She's very strict about it.
She's very strict.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's end therefore with some of your favorite things. Favorite film of Hema Malini for you?
Sita or Geeta. I watched
Sita or Geeta?
100 times and above while growing up.
All those lovely songs.
Yeah, and I
She on a cycle, no?
Yeah, on a skates.
Skating.
Yeah.
Skating. That's right. You were skating. How did I see the cycle out there? There was a skate. Your favorite film of your dad?
My dad favorite film is, I know it's a bit, came much later. He has had many super hit films. But I really enjoyed watching this film called Dadagiri of him with Govinda and Padmini Kolhapuri. And I always felt, I want to be that girl and I want my dad to train me like that. I just enjoyed watching that film.
I was told your dad had the biggest fist in Bollywood.
He still has the
biggest fist. And
I get teased what
Agar mukka lena hai, to Dharam ji jaisa mukka.
Hello, I have his hands. Being a girl, and all my heroes, all my co-stars, they make so much fun of my hands.
They do.
They always.
That's the footballer in you partly and the Dharamji part in you.
That is there. I have a lot of him in me also. Yes.
Favorite, any film where you saw your daughter and said, lovely?
Na Tum Jano Na Hum. I really loved that film and she performed so well. Even कोई मुझसे पूछे ना,
कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे,
कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे. That's the first film she did. So first day I went to the shooting and wanted to see how she's performing. She was so free, you know, absolutely not bothered. She just did the scene so well, and I was just remembering mine, how I was worried, scared, and she's very well trained that time.
That's where being a kid to actors helps a lot, because you've grown up seeing that, you've been on set, so you don't get shaken up by so many light men and cameramen.
And it was new for me. Everything was new for me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, if we all as a family wanted to go somewhere and have a family holiday, what's the best place you'd want to go? Where you feel is the favorite place? Any holiday place?
We love going to Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Los
love
Angeles.
Santa Monica.
We have to say something about India. Yeah,
India mein, nahi bola.
India mein, sorry.
No, India mein kahin bhi, why not? You all are all global citizens.
India
We all used to, when they were kids, we used to go to Chennai.
Yeah, India
Chennai
is
used to have a lovely
It's
time. I
definitely
had my
Chennai.
house also, that Kovalam beach and all. We
Yeah.
really had a nice time there.
You know, at the end of the day, I think if you can connect Chennai and Los Angeles, you've done a pretty good job. That's you know.
No, but Chennai for sure in India.
Chennai
it's
for
the
sure.
southern side. I mean, Kerala, Chennai, all those places.
Okay. South India meets North India meets Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's the way we are going to put
I
it.
know you asked me about international holiday.
Dharamji's favorite place?
Lonavala.
Lonavala. He's a
He
man.
is very happy there.
Aati kya
He
Khandala
loves
ya Aati kya Lonavala?
He has made a mini Punjab, na, there.
He has made a mini Punjab there.
Yes. So many cows are there.
And his vegetables, he grows, all that he does.
He enjoys that.
You know, I have to somehow at the other, I wish we had Dharamji also with us
Yes.
here. You all would have been the perfect trio, and maybe I have to get you all, at least the three of you, to do a film together, where he can continue to play hero.
Yes, he
Be-
can.
He
Because-
will always play only hero.
He will only play hero. He told me, मैं कोई father
Yeah.
mother का role नहीं करने वाला. He is the eternal hero. But look, you all are the eternal heroines. Wonderful that you've come here for this Diwali special.
Thank
Looking lovely as ever.
Thank
Wishing you and your family a
Thank
very happy Diwali.
Thank
Lots
you.
of love and blessings from everyone.
Yes.
And thank you.
Wish you the
Thank you
same.
so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Esha Deol, Hema Malini, two very special people joining us here on India Today, India Tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Wishing all the viewers of India Today a very happy Diwali. Diwali की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं.